What I am about to show you is quite literally one of my all-time favorite things I have ever created. It's this gingerbread girl dress that is made out of completely recycled materials, and I'm about to show you how I made it. The whole idea started because I couldn't sleep one night, and so my brain started thinking of unconventional dresses that I could make out of unconventional materials. And I was like, oh, the holidays are coming up and I love candy and cookies and gingerbread, and I have a bunch of cardboard down in my basement, so let's use it up, gingerbread girl dress. So I came up with this idea, and then I put paper to pen, or Apple pad pencil to iPad computer thing, and I drew this little gingerbread girl, and I was like, this might actually work. So let's do it. Even though I do have a bunch of cardboard down in my basement, I decided to go with a different material, and I will explain that later, but right now is just to let you know that I did not use cardboard. Anyways, here is the drawing process for this dress. I love it. Alright, it's time to get started. I have these. I originally was gonna make the whole dress out of cardboard, but then I was at Costco. And do you know what they have at Costco besides like anything you could ever want? They have these gigantic pieces of like cardstock. Like, you see that? It's like cardstock, but it's like construction paper. I don't really know exactly what it is, but it's gonna work. And I pretty much just asked the lady if I could have a couple of them, and she said yes. So, considering the fact that I only have 4 of these, I need to work extremely consciously to utilize the full space. And I'm literally just gonna like start cutting them up and hope for the best. And when I said hope for the best, I legit meant it because I just started going. I did 2 circles, one that is like the diameter of my waist on the inside, and then another circle on the outside that is like the diameter of the outside of the skirt eventually. Yeah, and I just cut it out, sometimes with scissors, sometimes with an X-Acto knife. It really just depended on the job. And then I cut a slit into the back because I think that's how I'm gonna get in and out of it. I overlapped the back a little bit too. It's not as big or dramatic as I thought it was gonna be, but I think it'll be okay once I add the straight down piece that I'm gonna glue all of the houses onto. And it definitely does not cover my bum, so I'm gonna have to do something about that situation as well. But I think this is a good shape, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go with it. For the time being, I'm using masking tape just to kind of close off that cone shape so that I can continue on this process. I glued a bunch of little rectangles onto the perimeter of the outside of the skirt so that I would have a structure to eventually glue the houses onto. This is the shape that I've got so far, and it is pretty sturdy. It stands up on its own. And now that this is done, I'm gonna work on the bodice part, and then I'm gonna spray paint it all, and then it's time to decorate. If I'm being honest, this project is going a little too well, so I'm almost expecting something horrible to happen because I thought this base structure was gonna take me like, you know, longer than 45 minutes, but it's literally, it hasn't even been an hour yet, and I'm already here. So hopefully this streak of luck keeps up because that would be amazing. I had to try it on. It's so cute. Like, it's gonna be adorable. In the name of sustainability, reusability, and sheer laziness, because I do not want to make a corset right now, I'm gonna chop the corset out of this paper dress that I made like last week, so yeah. And choppy rippy tear is exactly what I did to get the corset out of the dress. It was really in there, and getting it out took a lot of muscles and a lot of scissor work, but eventually I did get it. It's in rough condition, but it's going to work. I'm just gonna put a bunch of glue and paper all over it again anyways, it's fine. Except for that it wasn't fine because some of the spots had such thick pools of glue that I wasn't gonna be able to do what I wanted to do with it, and so I heated them up and scraped the glue off of it, and so it was flat. You might not know this about me, but I am a seasoned gingerbread architect, and all of those skills translate very well onto a cardboard cardstock medium. This right here is the reason why I needed to get rid of those massive pools of hot glue. I wanted these little cardboard houses to sit flat on the corset. I didn't want them to have like bumpy ridges underneath. This is where I left off last night. I have the whole corset covered in these little paper houses. And so next what I'm gonna do is gonna cover the skirt in paper houses. I've already started drawing them out on my little board, and then I'm just going to glue them on and spray paint everything all together, and then it's finally time to add the details. This project is still going really well, which again I'm super surprised by because usually something bad happens by now, but so far so good, and I'm not gonna complain about that. Still in my pajamas, and yeah, I made this shirt. It was kind of a joke gift for myself, but then I ended up really liking it, and so I wear it all the time now. Anyways, back to work. I decided to get more creative with the shapes of the houses that go on the skirt. And again, just cutting out their little outlines and watching a movie in my pajamas. This is me living my best life. I tried to be really conscious about the placement of the houses on the perimeter of the skirt. I didn't want them all to be the same shape or the same height, so I tried to plan out where each house would go before gluing it on, and if I needed to make minor changes like trim off the bottom a little bit, I just went ahead and did it. I just set everything up outside because I'm gonna spray paint, right? Well, the can says that it needs to be like 80 degrees or whatever outside to spray, and it is 32. So either it's just gonna freeze as soon as it like blasts the air, or things are gonna keep working out. So hopefully that's what we're doing. Hopefully things still go well. I'm just gonna stick this camera right here and get to work. I truly believed that spray painting these was just going to be really slick and easy. It was freezing outside and I couldn't stay warm, and I was very rapidly running out of spray paint. So this was the more tricky part of the costume, but other than that, everything's going so well. I'm at the store in my pajamas, trying to find some spray paint. There were so many beautiful colors of spray paint to choose from, and I'm just here to buy brown. This one will work just fine if I could just get it out of the freaking thingy, just with your muscles. Everything's fine. I got the spray paint from the hardware store that smells like my grandma's house, which, you know, not the greatest place in the world, but it will do. And then I had to run across the street to go to the grocery store because I needed stuff for dinner tonight. Well, I was there the exact same time that all the high school kids go there for like lunch or break or I don't know, something, but there was a ton of them there, and there was like a little group of posh young kids there, and they were like, well, okay, I don't know if they were actually judging me, but I felt their eyes on me, you know? Like, I'm in my pajamas and I'm like an old lady that is just buying like a case of beans and nothing else. And to them I say, I'm out here living my best life and you all have to go back to algebra. So have fun with that. And I'm back to spray painting. While that's out drying, it's time to address the fact that I do not want my bare butt hanging out the bottom of a cardboard dress. So let's make some like little cute briefs with a skirt attached to it. That's my idea, that's what I'm thinking. And I think it'll be pretty easy. And it turns out that making the most giganticest pair of underwear I've ever made in my entire life was very easy and came together in a matter of 20 minutes. So that's a win right there. I put little elastic around the waist and each leg hole and then sewed a little skirt to go on top. And then it was finally time to add those chunky white lines and details onto the spray painted base. This is definitely the part of the costume that I was most excited to do, and I love how it turned out. The last part of this costume is the hair wig thing, and I do not want to style a wig right now. Like, it is the last thing I want to do, but I'm so close to finishing this project, so I'm gonna try and persevere. It's not really a wig so much as it is a potential monstrosity, because all I have is this quilt batting and I don't really know if it's going to work. I mean, okay, so I do have this gray wig and I was originally going to put the wig underneath the quilt batting, but they're completely different colors and neither of them are white. My original idea was that it would be white and that's not gonna work anymore, so I just am gonna figure something out, I guess. And it's a good thing that I basically have a PhD in figuring stuff out. I just made a giant cone out of the same paper stuff and painted it white. Like, why did I think this was gonna be so difficult? This is an abomination. It's so stupid, but you know what? I'm just gonna cover it in the batting, and I found another bag of batting, so I think I'm gonna use that instead because there's a lot more of it and it's more traditionally white and not so creamy looking. But yeah, this is where we're at right now. It's giving Conehead George Washington. Done. And it's cold, so I'm glad we went to the mall, but I don't like that there were so many people there just hanging out. When I started this project, I had no idea if it would even work or not, and I kind of half expected to give up, you know, a couple hours in, but it totally came together and it totally worked and it looks adorable. And I am seriously considering maybe making a couple more of these and doing like a cute girl group with the gingerbread dresses, so if you're interested, hit me up and maybe let's just do it together. Christmas 2023, perhaps? Feel free to like and subscribe if you like this content. More videos are on their way soon, and in this house, we craft in pajamas.